If Pyros and Crips all got along, they probably got me down by the end of the song. Seem like the whole city go against me. Every time I'm in the street, I hear
Walls bomb! Walls bomb! Walls bomb! Okay, anyways. So, everyone thought that, oh yeah, Kyrie Irving, he opted into his contract. Kevin Durant will stay with the Brooklyn Nets. Looks like that's not happening. Like everyone. Maybe. You know what I think really happened? I think this man KD just pulled an Uno reverse car on Kyrie Irving, because the entire time Kyrie was like, "Am I staying? Am I going? Am I staying? I'm going." Oh yeah, I'll just decide to stay. And then Kevin Durant was like, "You know what? Fuck you. I'm leaving." You know what I mean? So my man KD really out here pulling the Uno reverse card. You know what I mean? So now here's the fucking question. Here's the question. Because you clearly see, I'm not bullshitting. Look at what it says. This is Adrian fucking Wojnarowski who's saying this shit. This ain't no like Suns insider. This ain't any of that shit. This is Adrian motherfucking Wojnarowski. He said Phoenix and Miami. And we all know Miami is soft as shit. Miami, the only time they actually made a trade for a superstar was when it was fucking Josh Richardson for Jimmy Butler. That's the closest they've went to like taking a risk. So like if trading Josh Richardson was such a fucking hassle for them, ain't no fucking way they're gonna make this big of a trade. So clearly Kevin Durant will be headed to Phoenix, most likely. It all depends on. Here's the thing. The ball is in Phoenix's court. If Phoenix really wants him, Phoenix will get him. But if Phoenix doesn't want him, then I think Miami is just going to be competing against itself. Because here's the thing. You got to realize that even though he has no trade clause, they got to send him to where he wants to go. You know what I mean? Because remember, James Harden last season said, oh yeah, I want to go to Brooklyn, right? And like, if it was anywhere other than Brooklyn, you know what I mean, he wouldn't have went there. He wouldn't have signed an extension. The shit would have been messy, and they would have had to trade him again. So, and then, especially with AD to the Lakers, because I remember the Celtics were interested in AD, but he's like, nah, you sending my ass to the Lakers, or I ain't re-signing. So they sent his ass to the Lakers, and then the rest is history. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, when a superstar says, I want to go in this place, you got to send him to that fucking place. So Phoenix and Miami are the ones to look at. And Phoenix has, I think, a lot more assets if they really wanted to. Because we all know, we know Chris Paul and we know Devin Booker. Obviously, those are the core of the team. They're not going anywhere. We know that already. So, which now leaves DeAndre Ayton, Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, maybe, I don't know if you want to throw in campaign or something, you know what I mean? We're just, and obviously we got to work out the picks and all that shit. So, now, here's the question. Here's the question that you got to ask yourselves, and which is this. How much are we really willing to give up? Because here's the thing. We just won 64 games last year. So it's not... If we were like a fucking 47-win team... then I would be like, okay, we need KD. We need to do everything we can to get KD. But we literally just won 64 games last year. And, it was one game away from the conference finals. And I'm pretty sure, had we just not choked... had we survived the choke job of, like, the Dallas Mavericks series, I'm pretty sure we would have ended up winning against the Warriors. So, really, we do need some change, but how drastic are we willing to go? Because my thought has always been, let's trade for Karl Anthony Towns. That has always been my thought. And here's the thing. Right now, I think this summer, Karl Anthony Towns is up for an extension. And I'm not so sure... that the Wolves are willing to give him that much money. Because I know the Suns are. Because the Suns just, I know the Suns are willing to give Devin Booker that much money because, Devin Booker, was all NBA first team. You know what I mean? Led the Suns to the number 1 seed, and most of the year he didn't have Chris Paul, or not most of the year, but like a good chunk of the season he didn't have Chris Paul. So, we know Booker is going to sign his extension, but in terms of Towns, I really am starting to believe that they don't want to give Towns that extension. I don't think the Wolves. Okay, because I think that Towns is willing to sign that extension if Minnesota offers him. But I just don't believe Minnesota wants to give him that much money, bro. Because I think the Timberwolves of recent, like the Timberwolves over the last 2 years, their identity has shifted from Karl-Anthony Towns over to Anthony Edwards. This is now Anthony Edwards' team. This is not Karl-Anthony Towns' team. Karl-Anthony Towns is just coming along for the ride. But the Wolves, I think, okay, Karl-Anthony Towns is still technically the best player. But I think the Timberwolves have based the identity and the culture of this team around Anthony Edwards. So I think they will do everything in their power to build around Anthony Edwards, not Karl-Anthony Towns. I think Karl-Anthony Towns is the best player. It's like for example, all those years on the Warriors, right? It was Curry and KD. Obviously, KD was the best player, but the team was built around Curry. I think that's the same thing that's going on in Minnesota. Even though Karl-Anthony Towns is a better player than Edwards, I think Minnesota wants to build around Edwards. So, which means I think they are willing to entertain an Ayton for Karl-Anthony Towns swap. But in terms of Kevin Durant, how much are we really willing to give up? Because, like I said, we did just win 64 games. We did go to Game 7 in the second round, so we're not too far off. So all we really got to do is add on a player. We don't want to give up too much, because if we give up too much, we might be taking what made our team good. You know what I mean? Mikal Bridges, we got to keep that man no matter what. I don't care if we have to throw in a couple extra first-round picks. If we let Mikal Bridges go, it's not going to work, bro. Okay, here's the thing. Because if we trade for Karl-Anthony Towns, we might only have to give up maybe Jay Crowder, Ayton, and then a couple salary fillers and a few first round picks. But if we try to get Kevin Durant, we're most likely gonna have to give up Bridges, Cam Johnson, and Ayton, and a few first round picks. I think that's way too much because first off, I really want to have the Suns. The Suns gotta start Cam Johnson, bro. The Suns at this point they need to start Cam Johnson. This dude Jay Crowder is a fucking trash can. And the only reason they're keeping Jay Crowder in the games is because of his defense. Even his defense is kind of mediocre. So now I'm thinking, in order for Cam Johnson to start, he just got to get a little bit better than defense. You know what I mean? Because he's a way better shooter than Jay Crowder. And his defense isn't horrible. But I think if Cam Johnson just gets a little bit better in defense, we could go ahead and start that motherfucker. I'm tired of Jay Crowder, bro. Let's compare the two packages. Because my whole thing is, I think if we try to get Karl-Anthony Towns, we might also be able to get D'Angelo Russell in that package. Because, I heard the Timberwolves are trying to offload D'Lo's contract. So that might be another reason that they're willing to let Karl-Anthony Towns go, is so that they could offload D'Lo's contract. So peep game, right? So, they give Ayton his max contract extension, which I think will be around $35 to $40 million. So they do a sign and trade with Ayton. So it's Ayton, Crowder, because Jay Crowder is going to be expiring contract. I don't think the Suns want to bring him back. So I think this is going to be Ayton, Crowder, Saric, for salary filler purposes, and then Cam Payne to replace, D'Lo. So yeah, I think if they do end up trading for, if they do end up trading for Karl-Anthony Towns, I think it's going to be Ayton, Crowder, Saric, Payne, and 4 first-round picks. I would have said 3, but I think 3 is a little bit too little, so I'll say 4. Just because they have to take... And for Karl-Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell. So that's one package you're looking at, right? The other package is for Kevin Durant, which you're most likely going to have to give up. You're probably going to have to give up Bridges. You're probably going to have to give up Cam Johnson. You're probably going to have to give up Ayton. And you're going to have to give up 5 first-round picks. Here's my thing. Ayton is gone regardless. We know that Ayton is gone regardless. But I would rather have a replacement for Ayton and just keep my wings the way they are. You know what I mean? Because Bridges, we ain't going to find a player like Bridges unless we're trading for fucking Kawhi Leonard or Paul George. We're not going to find a player like Bridges. You know what I mean? In terms of Cam Johnson, you know, he's a stretch 4. We might be willing to give him up, but we cannot let Bridges walk, bro. Like, if I don't care if we get Kevin Durant. Like, if we let Bridges go, that shit's gonna set the Suns back like at least a fucking decade. I don't care what anyone says. He was the defensive player of the year. We all saw that Marcus Smart got exposed like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? On multiple occasions. So fuck Marcus Smart. We all know Mikal Bridges was the defensive player of the year. So you know we need that man. You know that motherfucker single-handedly won a couple games for us, even when Devin Booker was out. I remember Game 5. That dude had like I think 33 points or some shit. You know what I mean? To bringing us up 3-2 versus the Mavericks. Obviously, we know the outcome of that series, but you know we still need Mikal Bridges. You know this will not work without Mikal Bridges, and if we have to give up Mikal Bridges for Kevin Durant, I really don't think it's worth it. So, and also, you know, we're still, even if we get Kevin Durant, we're still going to need a long-term center. Or unless we want to just start McGee or like Bismack Beyond, but we're still going to need a long-term center. So all I think we really need is Karl-Anthony Towns, bro. So I think we got to start exploring some Kevin Durant trades, but we also got to start exploring some Karl-Anthony Towns trades. And if they ask, I think if the Brooklyn Nets ask for too much, and the Minnesota Timberwolves are willing to bite, you take that Timberwolves trade. Because you might be able to get D'Lo off the bench too. You know what I mean? Because the problem with Kevin Durant is you're probably only going to get Kevin Durant. I don't think you're going to get anyone else. Because I think Patty Mills is because Patty Mills is a free agent. And then, you know, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving will not be a fucking package deal. Because, number one, at this point, I think Kevin Durant's tired of Kyrie Irving shit. And number two, ain't no way Kyrie Irving is going to accept coming off the bench. That motherfucker's going to start whining. But I think D'Angelo Russell is a guy who's, like, a little bit more humble. He's probably willing to come off the bench for Chris Paul. So, yeah, I think, here's the thing. And I'm only saying we take the Timberwolves package if it's on the table. If the Timberwolves package is not on the table, we got to go all in for Kevin Durant. You know, I don't care if we have to trade Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and Ayton to get Kevin Durant. I'm saying if the Timberwolves package is on the board, we take the Timberwolves package. But if the Timberwolves package is not on the board, we got to go all in for Kevin Durant. You know, this team is not going to win shit. You know what I mean? Because it's literally just Chris Paul and Devin Booker doing everything, bro. You know what I mean? You know, Mikal Bridges is a 3-and-D guy. What is it? Cam Johnson is just like a stretch 4. You know what I mean? McGee is like literally just a roll. McGee and Biyombo are literally just pick and roll guys. You know, they can't create their own offense. Ayton, same thing. Pick and roll guy. Can't create his own offense. You know, even Cam Payne. Like, I thought Cam Payne was, like, good. I thought Cam Payne was good last season. But then this this recent season, he's just been fucking trash, bro. Like, ever since he got that contract, he's been fucking trash. So, it's time, bro. It's time to get Karl-Anthony Towns on this motherfucking roster. But if we can't get Karl-Anthony Towns, we gotta go all on Kevin Durant. Because we need to, I mean, we really don't have that much time left, man. Chris Paul got like I said before, Chris Paul got 3 years left on his deal. We got 3 years to to make it work with Chris Paul. Or else that motherfucker is going to retire without a ring. So we got 3 years. We get Kevin Durant. You know, maybe our future is going to look absolutely fucking cracked. You know what I mean? But at least we could say we got a championship. I think if we go in all in on Kevin Durant, it is a win now move. If we go all in for Kevin Durant, it is a win now move. But if we go all in for Cat, not only is it a win now move, it also sets us up long term. Because the Kevin Durant thing is like, okay, we're gonna maximize Chris Paul's last 3 years in the NBA. You know what I mean? Try to win a championship within these 3 years. And then, you know, if it doesn't work out, then so be it. But the Karl-Anthony Towns move, the reason why it works is because not only does it make our championship, you know, chances better, it makes our championship chances better. We could keep most of our assets, and also it sets us up for the future so that once Chris Paul retires, we still got another superstar. You know what I mean? Because Booker and Ayton, I don't think was ever going to work out just because Booker has to, like, create everything for himself, and Ayton needs, like, a point guard to do anything. So in order for Ayton to ever be effective, we would always need to try to acquire, like, a Mike Conley or a Kyle Lowry. We would always, even, like, if we got rid of not got rid of Chris Paul, but, like, once Chris Paul retires, we would still have to go out of our way to spend a lot of assets to get another veteran point guard, or just get another point guard in general. And I feel like that would just, like, you know, at that point, then we would have to spend more assets. Rather than if we just had Booker and Towns, both of them can get their own shot. You know, all we would need to do is sign, like, you know, like a Tyus Jones or some shit to play point guard for us, and then we'd be set. You feel me? I mean, Ricky Rubio did work out. For the Suns. You know, they did work out for us. But, you know, we got Chris Paul. We went to the finals. We got Ricky Rubio, and we made it to, like, the 10th seed. We got Chris Paul. We went to the finals. You feel me? So, yeah. Like I said, I think it really depends on how much we have to give up. Because at one token, I think Kevin Durant has 4 years on his contract. So the Nets are gonna probably going to ask for a lot. But on another token, he just came off an Achilles injury. He's about to be 34. You know, like, you could argue his trade value is going down just because the Nets kind of have to trade him. Because Kyrie is, like, you know, probably not going to stay either. Kyrie probably just opted in for the money, and they're probably going to trade him too. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on the whole situation. I think, like I said, if Karl-Anthony Towns is not available, if the Timberwolves come out and say Karl-Anthony Towns is untouchable, we're not trading him, he's not available, then I will shut the fuck up from everything I said about Kevin Durant. I will just zip it. I will be like, we need to get Kevin Durant because we do need a change. We can't stick with the same roster. If we run it back with the same roster minus Ayton, because we're not gonna pay Ayton. Like, if we run it back with the same roster minus Ayton, we're fucked. It's over. You know what I mean? The Suns championships are over. Chris Paul's never gonna get a ring. Devin Booker's never gonna get a ring. If we run it back with the same fucking roster, but without Ayton, we will be fucked. Because it's not even because of Ayton that we'll be fucked. It's because the roster in general is just not that good. You know what I mean? Outside of CP3 and Devin Booker, the roster in general is just not that good. We got fucking Jay Crowder. You know what I mean? We got, like, what? Cameron Payne. You know what I mean? Mikal Bridges is a stud, but it's not like he's averaging 20 points per game like his other Bridges counterpart. You know what I mean? It's not like he's going out, you know, dropping 20 points, 25 points per game like his other Bridges brother. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I think another option is maybe Pascal Siakam. A lot of people have told me that the Suns should trade for Pascal Siakam. But my counter to that is we're still not going to eat. Like, I thought, okay, if we could keep Ayton, then we trade for Siakam. Because if we're trading Ayton for Siakam, we're not going to have a center. we're going to have fucking JaVale McGee or Bismack Biyombo. So that's why I said Karl-Anthony Towns works. Because we got to keep all our wings. We got to keep Cam Johnson. We got to keep Mikal Bridges. You know, we probably only have to trade like Ayton and like a few other assets. Like a few like salary fillers like Crowder and Saric and like Payne in order to make. Because here's the thing. Minnesota has a contract to attach. You know what I mean? Like Minnesota has a contract they want to get out of. The Brooklyn Nets really don't have that many bad contracts. Because they got Kyrie Irving for a year. And then Ben Simmons, he's not really a bad contract if you really think about it. Because if Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant both leave, then Ben Simmons is going to be the only motherfucker on that team. So, you know, he's not really a bad contract if you really think about it. But the Timberwolves, they want to get out of D'Angelo Russell's contract. So I think the Suns have the leverage here. If the Timberwolves are that adamant, if they are that aggressive in wanting to get out of D'Angelo Russell's contract, the Suns will have all the leverage. All they gotta do is be like, oh, we're gonna give you Ayton, we're gonna give you Crowder, you know, for the 3 and D. You know what I mean? We're gonna help you get rid of this salary. You know what I mean? And at that point, I do believe that Karl-Anthony Towns is available for the right price. Because here's the thing, the Timberwolves have not come out and said for 1 second that Karl-Anthony Towns is untouchable. If Karl-Anthony Towns really wasn't available, they would have came out and said he wasn't available. Because they're hearing all these trade rumors. You know what I mean? Like last season, but before they traded for D'Lo, and even after they traded for D'Lo, there was still Karl-Anthony Towns trade rumors. So this would be the time to trade him because his value is not going to get any higher. You're going to have to extend him, you know what I mean, which is going to make his value even worse because he's going to be on a bigger contract instead of an expiring contract where you could just, where the incoming team can just work on the new deal. You know what I mean? So let's get it popping, bro. Let's get it popping. Even though Kevin Durant wants to come to Phoenix, we will welcome him if Karl-Anthony Towns isn't available. If Karl-Anthony Towns is not available, we will welcome KD with open arms. But if Karl-Anthony Towns is available, we're gonna wave bye-bye to KD. We're gonna go straight for Karl-Anthony Towns. That's the way we should be thinking about this. We should only go after KD if Karl-Anthony Towns is not available. If Karl-Anthony Towns is available, you get that motherfucker. You get rid of Saric. You get rid of Crowder. You get rid of Payne. You know, you get rid of Ayton. And let's get it popping. Because here's the thing. DeJounte Murray just got traded for like 3 first-round picks, right? And Karl-Anthony Towns, I'm not going to say Karl-Anthony Towns is like on the same level of DeJounte Murray, but I don't think he's like Giannis. You know, I don't think he's Giannis or Embiid or Jokic level. You know what I mean? I don't think he's going to have that level of trade value. Damn sure won't have the Kevin Durant level trade value. So we will be able to get Karl-Anthony Towns on a good price. With Devin Booker, with Chris Paul, it will probably help Chris Paul age gracefully because he won't have to set Karl-Anthony Towns up on every play. Karl-Anthony Towns will actually be able to create his own offense for once. You know? And let's get it popping. Let's get this ring. Either way. Whether it's KD or Karl-Anthony Towns, if we get one of them, I'll be happy. I would prefer to get Karl-Anthony Towns. Just because we're probably not going to have to give up as much. But if we do end up with KD, I will be equally happy. We need to make a trade. We need to capitalize on these last 3 years of Chris Paul's career. And let's get it popping. And with that being said, I'm out. Peace. Okay, yeah, so it looks like Karl-Anthony Towns just, you know, signed a max extension with Timberwolves. So just ignore everything I said about, you know, the whole KD Karl-Anthony Towns. Just ignore everything I said about that. You know, it's time to go on for KD. You know what I mean? I don't even think we're going to need to give up Bridges. You know, I really don't. Because here's the thing. In order for us to give up Bridges, that means we have to have a really competitive offer. Which it means Miami has to offer something. it means Boston has. I really just think we're bidding against ourselves here. You know what I mean? So yeah, just forget everything I said about Karl-Anthony Towns. We're all in on KD, obviously. You know what I mean? But yeah, I didn't want to make an entirely new video, so I'm just adding in this to the end of that video. But yeah, with that being said, I'm out. Peace.